All right, so today we're diving into something pretty cool. Google's Daily Listen.
Yeah, daily listen.
It's this new thing that they're testing that basically makes your Google Discover feed into like a mini podcast,
Yeah, so it's like curated for you.
curated just for you.
What I think is fascinating here is that it's not just like a random collection of news.
Yeah.
Daily Listen uses like your search history and the topics you follow in the Google app
Right.
to create a personalized audio digest.
That's wild.
It's like having a tiny podcast episode
Yeah.
tailored to your interests,
Uh-huh.
all ready to go when you are.
And get this.
Okay.
Usually it's like 5 minutes or less.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so perfect for those quick moments when you want to catch up, but don't have the time to scroll through a bunch of articles.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Right.
It's interesting how multiple sources connect Daily Listen to NotebookLM,
Right.
that AI tool Google developed that can turn any text into a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're using similar technology here. But instead of you providing the text, it pulls directly from your Discover feed.
Which honestly is a part of Google I sometimes forget about.
Yeah.
But now that they're using it for this new audio feature,
Right.
makes me wonder if Discover might be more influential than we realize.
It definitely seems like Google is trying to leverage the power of Discover
Yeah.
in new ways.
Uh-huh.
And by adding this audio element,
Yeah.
they're tapping into the growing trend of people consuming content on the go
Right.
through podcasts and audiobooks.
Yeah.
It's a smart move.
Especially as competition heats up in the AI space.
For sure.
Speaking of AI,
Yeah.
it seems like Google has been experimenting a lot with AI-powered features in search lately.
Yeah, like what?
Well, remember those AI-generated summaries you see at the top of search results?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Daily Listen feels like the next evolution of that,
Oh, okay.
taking those summaries and turning them into a full-blown audio experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they're gradually weaving AI into every aspect of our interaction with Google. Right.
Making it more intuitive and personalized.
Yeah, and think about the design elements mentioned in the 9 to 5 Google articles.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, the Gemini Sparkle badge,
Uh-huh.
the full screen player with the transcript,
Oh, wow.
even playback speed controls.
Oh, very cool.
They're really going all in on making this a seamless and customizable experience.
It sounds like they've really thought this through.
Yeah.
And Mashable makes a great point
Okay.
about how features that start in search labs,
Yeah.
like those AI search overviews,
Right.
often end up becoming default features for everyone.
It's true.
So if Daily Listen takes off,
Yeah.
it could become a core part of how we use Google,
All right.
whether we actively choose it or not.
It's interesting to think about.
It's a reminder that technology can sometimes shape our habits and preferences in subtle ways.
Yeah, for sure.
And with Daily Listen,
Uh-huh.
Google is positioning itself at the forefront of that shift towards personalized audio content.
That's a really good point.
I mean, it is pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah.
This little experiment could have a ripple effect on the entire digital landscape.
Absolutely. And we even have insights from one of the developers working on Daily Listen,
Oh, wow. Who's that?
Usama bin Shafkat,
Okay.
over on Bluesky.
Okay.
And he talks about how they've been working with the search team on this for a while now,
Wow, that's cool.
seeing it as a way to leverage Discover's potential
Yeah.
and create a more friendly AI experience.
I love that phrase, friendly AI.
Yeah,
It sounds very approachable,
right.
not creepy at all.
Yeah.
So let's dig into some of the specific articles we have
Okay.
and see what they reveal about Daily Listen and its potential impact.
Yeah, a great place to start would be Search Engine Roundtable.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
They're a trusted source in the search world.
Yeah, they are.
And they've got a solid rundown of the basic features of Daily Listen.
Okay, perfect.
So Search Engine Roundtable confirms it's typically 5 minutes or less,
Okay.
AI generated, and gives an audio overview of your top Discover stories.
Okay.
They also mention the text transcript alongside the audio,
Oh, cool.
which is great for accessibility, or if you prefer to skim.
That's awesome.
And they highlight how tailoring your Discover feed will directly impact the personalization of your Daily Listen experience.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's not just passively consuming whatever Google throws at you.
Right.
It's about actively shaping the content you receive.
You're in control.
Exactly.
Now, 95 Google,
Yeah.
a website dedicated to all things Google,
Uh-huh.
also has some interesting insights.
Okay.
They dive a bit deeper into how Daily Listen actually works.
Okay.
Mentioning it appears in the space carousel under the Google app search bar.
Yeah.
When you tap it,
Yeah.
boom, a full screen player pops up.
I love that. Boom.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they emphasize the design elements.
Yeah.
Like the Gemini Sparkle badge.
Right.
which further points to Google's increasing reliance on its Gemini AI model.
Mm-hmm.
They also break down all the player controls,
Okay.
making it clear they've put a lot of thought into making the listening experience truly customizable.
They really have.
They're even quite enthusiastic about the potential of Daily Listen,
Yeah.
calling it remarkably compelling,
Wow.
and claiming that it boosts Discover in a meaningful way.
That's high praise.
It makes you wonder if this is Google's way of revitalizing Discover, drawing users back in with this new engaging format.
Yeah.
After all, they do point out that while Discover sometimes gets a bad rap for surfacing clickbait,
Right.
it can also be a great way to find interesting content you wouldn't stumble upon otherwise.
It's true. I found some really interesting things in my Discover feed.
Same here.
Okay, so we've got Search Engine Roundtable laying out the basics.
Yep.
And 9 to 5 Google highlighting the design and user experience.
Yep.
Let's move on to Mashable's take.
Okay.
They're known for their focus on digital culture, and they frame Daily Listen as Google taking personalized news to a whole new level.
Interesting.
They compare it to NotebookLM, but emphasize that in this case, the prompt driving the AI isn't a text you provide,
Right.
but rather your combined search and discover data.
That's a really interesting way of looking at it.
It really is.
So it's taking what you're actively searching for
Yeah.
and combining it with the topics you've chosen to follow in the Google app
Right.
to create this hyper-personalized audio experience.
That's super cool.
It is pretty impressive.
What's also interesting is their observation about Google's track record with AI features in search.
Okay.
They note how features that started as experiments, like those AI search overviews we talked about,
Yeah.
eventually become almost impossible to opt out of.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if Daily Listen could eventually become just another default part of the Google experience.
That is interesting to consider.
Right? Some people might welcome that level of personalization,
Yeah.
while others might feel like AI is being pushed on them whether they want it or not.
That's true. There are definitely two sides to that.
It's a very thought-provoking point.
And Mashable isn't the only one highlighting this trend.
Okay.
TechCrunch, a major player in tech news and startups,
Right.
also points out how Daily Listen is part of Google's ongoing experimentation with AI-powered features.
Right.
They emphasize that it's still in a controlled testing phase,
Okay.
limited to U.S. users and search labs,
Yeah.
but they also see it as a significant step forward in Google's AI strategy.
Okay.
They remind us that Daily Listen is built on a similar concept as NotebookLM,
Yeah.
using AI to create new content that's both useful and entertaining.
I love that.
And of course, they reiterate the importance of personalizing your search and discover preferences to get the most out of the audio experience.
So it's like a feedback loop.
Right.
The more you personalize, the more
Yeah.
tailored your content becomes,
Exactly.
which could lead to even more engagement with Google's products and services.
That's fascinating.
It's a fascinating dynamic to observe as these AI technologies evolve and become more integrated into our daily lives.
It really is.
All right, so we've got a good sense of what Daily Listen is all about,
Yeah.
how it works,
Uh-huh.
and where it fits into Google's broader strategy.
Okay.
But let's not forget those insights from Usama bin Shafkat.
The developer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His perspective adds a really interesting human element to this whole discussion.
Okay, let's hear it.
He talks about how the team saw an opportunity to tap into the power of Discover and turn it into something even more engaging.
Yeah.
Imagine that your Discover feed
Yeah.
transformed into this friendly AI, keeping you up to date.
And that phrase,
Yeah.
friendly AI,
Yeah.
it really stuck with me.
Yeah, me too. It seems like they're really trying to make this feature feel approachable and helpful,
Uh-huh.
not some creepy algorithm
Yeah.
taking over your life.
Exactly. And that's a really important distinction as AI becomes more prevalent.
Right.
It's not about replacing human connection, but rather finding ways to enhance our experiences
Right.
and make our lives a bit easier.
So we've got a pretty clear picture of Daily Listen
Yeah.
from these various articles
Yeah.
and the developers' insights.
Okay.
But let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about the potential impact.
Okay.
What does this mean for the average user?
Yeah.
Is this something we should all be excited about?
Yeah.
Or are there reasons to be cautious?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
On the one hand,
Yeah.
the convenience factor is undeniable.
Oh, for sure.
If Daily Listen can deliver a personalized news digest in under 5 minutes,
Uh-huh.
that could be a game changer for busy people who struggle to stay informed.
Think about it.
Okay.
Instead of scrolling through endless articles or trying to catch snippets of news between meetings, you could have this curated audio experience ready to go whenever you have a few minutes to spare.
Right. And it could even help you discover articles you might have otherwise missed.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Let's be honest. How often do we really click on every single article in our Discover feed?
Oh, guilty as charged.
Sometimes I just skim the headlines and move on.
Yeah.
So Daily Listen could surface those hidden gems, those articles that align with your interests but might have gotten lost in the shuffle.
Right.
That's a pretty compelling benefit.
It is, but as with any new technology, there are potential downsides to consider.
Okay, like what?
One that jumps out at me is the whole filter bubble issue.
Yeah.
If Daily Listen is only feeding us information based on our existing interests and Google's algorithms, are we at risk of missing out on diverse perspectives and important news outside of our bubble?
That's a crucial point to consider.
Yeah.
Personalization can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
While it can make our online experiences more relevant and efficient, it can also narrow our exposure to different viewpoints and potentially reinforce our existing biases.
That's true.
It's important to be mindful of this.
Yeah.
And actively seek out information from a variety of sources.
Right.
Even if it means stepping outside of our comfortable echo chambers.
Absolutely. We can't just passively consume whatever is fed to us.
Right.
We need to be active and critical consumers of information.
Yeah.
No matter where it comes from.
Couldn't agree more.
Another concern that comes to mind is the role of AI in shaping our information landscape.
Okay.
If we're increasingly relying on algorithms to curate and deliver our news, are we ceding too much control to technology?
That's a valid concern.
It is.
As AI plays a larger role in our lives, it's crucial to have open conversations about its implications.
Yeah.
We need to think critically about the sources of AI-generated content.
Right.
Be aware of potential biases and recognize the limitations of these technologies.
That's a good point.
Ultimately, AI is a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or ill.
Right.
It's up to us as individuals and as a society to ensure that it's used responsibly and ethically.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, so it sounds like Daily Listen has the potential to be both incredibly helpful and potentially problematic. It's up to each of us to use it wisely, being mindful of both its benefits and its limitations.
That's a really good point.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual users.
Okay.
Let's talk about the bigger picture here.
Okay.
What does Daily Listen signal about Google's overall strategy?
Yeah.
Where does this fit into the grand scheme of things?
That's a great question.
I think it's clear that Google is betting big on AI.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing it everywhere, from search to assistant to maps.
Yeah.
Daily Listen seems to be part of that larger trend.
Yeah.
A way to further integrate AI into our daily lives.
It seems to me that Google is doubling down on using AI to enhance and personalize its core products and services.
Yeah.
They're not just building standalone AI tools.
Right.
They're weaving AI into the fabric of our digital experience.
Exactly. It's about making their products more intuitive, predictive, and tailored to our individual needs.
Right.
And by doing so, they're making AI more accessible and less intimidating to the average user.
It's true.
It's not some abstract concept anymore. It's just seamlessly integrated into the tools we use every day.
I like that.
Exactly. And that's a really smart strategy.
Yeah.
As users become accustomed to interacting with AI-powered features, it becomes less of a novelty and more of a natural part of their digital lives.
For sure.
This could give Google a huge advantage in the AI race as they become the go-to platform for all things AI.
It's like they're flying under the radar.
Right.
Subtly shaping our habits and preferences without us even realizing it.
Now let's zoom in on the audio aspect.
Okay.
Daily Listen isn't just about AI.
Yeah.
It's about Google expanding its presence in the audio space.
Interesting. What makes you say that?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Google dominates search, video with YouTube, mobile operating systems with Android.
Right.
But audio has been a bit more elusive for them.
Yeah.
They have YouTube Music, but it hasn't quite achieved the same level of success as Spotify or Apple Music.
Yeah, that's true.
So Daily Listen could be a way for them to carve out a unique niche in the audio landscape.
Interesting.
It's not trying to be a music streaming service
Right.
or a podcast platform.
Right.
It's more like this personalized audio news digest, which is a relatively untapped market.
And with the growing popularity of podcasts and audiobooks, people are already primed for consuming audio content on their smartphones.
Right.
So Google is tapping into an existing behavior and adding their AI spin to it.
It's a clever move.
Is.
Especially as they face increasing competition from other tech giants in the AI space.
Right. Speaking of competition, let's not forget about the business implications of Daily Listen.
Good point. This move signals that Google is serious about staying ahead of the curve. They're constantly innovating. Experimenting with new ways to leverage AI and capture user attention.
It makes you wonder how other tech companies will respond.
Right.
Will we see a wave of AI-powered audio experiences popping up from Amazon, Apple, Meta, and the rest?
It's a fascinating question. Daily Listen could be the catalyst for a whole new era of personalized audio content.
That's pretty wild to think about.
Imagine a world where everything from your commute to your workout to your bedtime story is tailored to your individual preferences.
Right.
All powered by AI.
It's mind-blowing to think about the possibilities. But it also raises some important questions about the role of technology in our lives.
Absolutely. Before we get carried away with all the futuristic scenarios, let's bring it back down to earth for a moment.
Okay.
What does this mean for you, the listener, right here, right now?
Great point. Let's distill all this down to the essentials. What are the key takeaways from our deep dive into Google's Daily Listen?
Well, if you're just tuning in, we've been kind of unpacking Google's new experiment, Daily Listen.
Right.
Imagine a mini podcast curated just for you, pulling from the articles in your Google Discover feed.
It's very cool.
It's still in testing, but it gives us a glimpse into how AI might shape our information consumption.
The convenience factor is undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
Daily Listen could be a lifesaver for those who struggle to stay informed.
For sure.
You know, fitting neatly into those little pockets of downtime in our day. And who knows? Maybe it will even surface those hidden gems we might have missed in our Discover feed.
Right, but there's a flip side.
Oh, yeah.
We need to be aware of the filter bubble effect.
Right.
Could Daily Listen make those bubbles even stronger, narrowing our perspectives instead of broadening them?
It's a valid concern.
It is.
And it ties into the broader question of AI's role in shaping our information landscape.
Right.
We need to be critical consumers of AI-generated content, questioning its sources and being aware of potential biases.
Absolutely. It all comes back to that idea of balance, right?
Right.
Using these tools to our advantage, but not letting them dictate our curiosity or limit our exposure to diverse viewpoints.
Yeah. Exactly. Daily Listen might make staying informed easier. But it's up to us to ensure we're not sacrificing breadth and critical thinking in the process.
Absolutely.
Now, zooming out to the business side of things.
Okay.
Daily Listen is a clear signal that Google is deeply invested in AI.
Oh, yeah.
Weaving it into the very fabric of their products and services.
They're not just dipping their toes in the AI pool.
Right.
They're doing a cannonball.
They are.
And Daily Listen in particular suggests they're eager to expand their reach in the audio world.
It makes you wonder if this is just the tip of the iceberg. Could Daily Listen be the first wave of a whole new tide of AI-powered audio experiences?
Imagine a world where your commute, your workout, even your downtime is filled with personalized audio content. Crafted just for you by AI.
Right.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Sure. But also a little bit unnerving.
Yeah, it's like we're on the cusp of a whole new era.
Yeah.
Where the lines between technology and human experience are blurring even further.
And that, my friend, is why Daily Listen is so much more than just a cool new feature.
I agree.
It's a window into the future.
Yeah.
A future where AI is likely to play an increasingly central role in our lives.
So as you go about your day, keep this in mind.
Okay.
What role do you want AI to play in your life? How do you want to shape your relationship with this rapidly evolving technology?
Yeah.
The future is being written now, and we all have a part to play in shaping it.
And that's your deep dive into Google's Daily Listen.
So until next time,
yeah,
stay curious and stay engaged.